don't know if any of you've ever watched anybody play this game before, but when you first start off, and this is in my first video on my YouTube channel, but when you first start off, you fly in from that direction, being carried by a giant crow called, Veneer? Veneer? I don't remember. Oh, that makes it a lot easier. Eekter's really close. Anyways, so you fly in, right? And you drop down right here on this pedestal. And no, Hugin, that's his name. Hugin is sitting on here and he's like, hey, register this location. This is where your first boss is. Go fight it and you'll get an upgrade or whatever. I'm just like, cool. And he's just like, oh, by the way, you need to build something first. Do some stuff. Get some armor. And build some stuff. So I'm going to show you basically a walkthrough of everything that I've done since I've been here. Alright, let's do it. So, I got dropped down and I already kind of knew what I wanted to do. So I immediately looked around and started picking up sticks and rocks and trying to figure out how to make tools and how everything works. I built a hammer, a club, and a stone axe, and a torch. I think I was given a torch. And I walked up here and I was like, I want to put my place on top of a hill. So I did that. Put it on, well, not really on top, but I wanted it to be near this as a landmark, because this never leaves your map, no matter what you do. You can't make it disappear. I'm clicking the right mouse button right now. If I click this right mouse button, it'll tell me, it'll make it disappear. If I click this, it'll disappear. So, when I first started, as you can see, I wasn't a great builder. When I first started, I started with my friend Chungus. I think his bed is still. Yeah, well, his chase is dead now. He had already been playing for a while, so he made this house. I didn't realize he used the X's. And he made a little chimney and did all that. It's pretty great. He did a good job. And I stayed here for, I wouldn't even say like a whole week in game. Just because I didn't really stay here that long. And I immediately started looking for everything that I needed to upgrade my stuff. I got a bow, I started killing deer. I got deer meat, just regular old meat. And I really wanted to go across the water, right? So I did. Across the water. Swam over here. Should I better let me? And what did I find? Without even realizing it, I found the first boss's altar. It's 2 feet from spawn. I don't even think I had built a bed yet. Well, no, Chase built a bed for me. I went over here and I was like, what do I do? How do I summon this dude? He's a deer. Let me guess, I gotta get deer heads. And he says hunt his kin, and I did that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just running through what I did, and so I went and hunted a bunch of deer, and I got a bunch of heads, and I came back here and I placed them on the altar, and it summoned Eekter, and I fought him with fire arrows. Now, at the time, I didn't realize that was a huge advancement. I was killing a ton of the little graylings spawn in this area. They're super weak to me now. And I solo killed Igner by myself. This is long after Chase had gotten off. And then I did some research and I found out that I needed to head to a place called the Black Forest. Well, I had scoured the area around my base. I had just looked everywhere. All this area. Not over here or anything. Like this whole area. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna run in any direction until I find Black Forest. So yeah. So I just ran, literally. I just picked a direction and started running. And this was the direction I chose. I was gonna make a path, but I didn't think it that necessary. Found a stone, probably. This is some nice lore. It's basically about like golems and trolls and other large creatures that are in each area. Anyway, so I just kept running. I pretty much ran straight ahead this way. I didn't come over the hill like that. I just kept running straight. And I kept running. I can't tell where I'm going. I'm going the wrong way. I went this way. I'm an idiot. Doesn't look the same because I cleared some of this out. A lot of this out. Most of this out. Most of this was cleared by me. This all used to be forest. I mean, you can see all the stars. Where'd you go? What? Oh. What's up, dude? Alright, so this all used to be trees, and I just kept running, and I was looking for the Black Forest. I didn't really know what I was looking for. I just knew that the game would tell me when I found it. So I basically pick a direction and I ran straight. I didn't run this way that I'm running now. I didn't realize which direction I went. I'm terrible with maps. Alright. So I picked a direction, I ran straight, right? I found this. I was like, awesome, but it's so far. There's no way I could cross that. Just swimming. Well, there's a little island here. I jumped to the little island. And then I tried to jump as far as I could, and I swam. And I came barely to shore, dying a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And it came up with the message, Black Forest. And it was like super ominous and all that shit, right? Came here and I wondered what to do. So first thing I knew I had to do was build shelter because the Black Forest has these things called the bigger graylings. They have the ones that I kill nonchalantly now whenever I see them. Yeah, they were a hassle back then. All I had was leather armor and a stone axe and a stone pickaxe. Nothing for them. So I built this base, and my initial base was just this outline that you see here. Just this little room. I had a workbench and everything. But once I found out that I needed to get these things called certling cores and start making metal and bronze and making better tools, I figured I would need a bigger house. So I took to work. I built the outline, the first couple rows of my house, and then just built up until it basically said I couldn't build anymore, and then I slapped the roof on it. Now most of this is green now because I added these later. I didn't know about these at the time. Before, I didn't have this, I didn't have any of this. It was just a roof, an open room like a barn. Wasn't really a home yet. So, I built this, and I didn't even actually build it until I had already built 2 of these guys and 2 of these guys, because when I found out that I could build these to smelt the metal that I was getting, to get copper and tin, that's silver, to get copper and tin, I immediately thought, well, I might as well have 2 of each, just so I don't have to wait so long to use the copper and tin to make bronze. So I built 2. I built 2 of these guys. This is a kiln. I built 2 kilns back here, and then 2, what is this called? Furnace? Smelter. I built 2 smelters right here, and I had almost no space to walk around. But I was okay with that, and initially they weren't even underneath this roof. They were just outside, ready to get smashed by a troll if it walked by or anything. And I was lucky enough that when I first came over here, the trolls kind of left me alone. Because not even... Let me see. Not even a little bit over there. There's a troll cave, like right up there. I've killed the troll inside, obviously. But at the time, I didn't even know that that was a thing. I didn't know trolls had like their own little boss area, like the skeletons did. So I was like, alright, cool. I guess I'll just be messed with it by a troll every once in a while. So I just left it at that, and every time a troll came around, I would hide in my house. Well, as you beat the game, the monsters in each area become more aggressive. In each lower area, more and more aggressive. The little greylings that spawn in the regular woods, they used to barely come by, and they would only attack me at night if they were nearby. Now, they'll search me out. They'll come towards me. Even in the middle, in broad daylight. And it's a noticeable change. Like, the greylings in the Black Forest spawn in higher numbers, and since I beat the second boss, these guys spawn. Grey Dwarf Shamans and Grey Dwarf Brutes will spawn and just mess up everything. Now, of course, they're nothing to me, but back then, because I beat the boss with Chase, and you can see that boss fight in my boss fight playlist. But I've got hours and hours in between then and in between when I beat Eikthyr and the Elder. Anyway, so I built this, and I went into these skeleton things, and they're like, my friends who play this game are like, hey, you know you can't, you in the skeleton places you gotta find. Here, let me find one real quick. Well, just like at the start, there are these. Oh look, that one even has a star. Oh come on, I'm hitting you. Anyways, so in the ruin or the what are they called? Burial chambers. That's what they're called. In the burial chambers, there were these um the runes. The same rune that you saw for Eikthyr at the start of the game. There was one for the Elder, and I looked at my map when it popped up, and it was all the way over here. I was like, damn, that sucks. And my friend Chase was like, wow, that's actually kind of close. You should just sail there. Well, that's all well and fun, but I've never sailed anywhere. So he offered to go with me. We we sailed from right about here. We ran up the coast as far as we could to get as close as we could, and we set sail right here with a little uh bronze nail ship. It's the second one. Let me see. It's this guy. I never built one of these. I never built one. My friends told me it was a waste of fucking materials. So we made a crafting bench out there, placed this, and we just set sail. Took off, right? So we took off. We set sail. We get there, and I had just watched a here. Let me just go ahead and portal over there. I had just watched a YouTuber called Let's Game It Out play this game and beat the first boss or the first and second boss. And let me tell you. Oh, which by the way, I think it was around the time of beating the second boss. My friend Chase, he told me about the portals, and I just went nuts with them and started putting them everywhere. I've actually broken down some of the portals that I used to have, just because they weren't necessary. I mean, it was like 10 feet that I was going. I just got super excited because I had a bunch of Sirloin cores, and I had nothing to do with them. I still have a bunch of Sirloin cores. Anyway, so we came here. We arrived on shore. Way down there, like I'm not even gonna run that far. It's pretty far. I don't know why we didn't just come to shore over here right next to the boss area, but I wanted to get off, and I left my boat over there, actually. But we thought we were gonna have to go up on land. It just didn't happen, so that's all well and good, but you know, we walked over here and found the boss base, and I immediately was like, hey, I saw this guy dig out. Smell of sulfur? Ah, oh, shiza. What does that mean? Oh, Sirloin? No way! Oh, shiza. Not these guys. These guys are annoying. I didn't even know this was a thing. Stop moving. I did not know this was a thing. I wish I made frost arrows now. Oh shit. Are they coming to burn everything? Fuck. Don't Don't burn my stuff. Wow, this has never happened. I've never had a. Oh my gosh, they're actually like coming up here. What's up, guys? Oh, you're a bitch. Stop. I'm over here. Alright, you want some? Let's freaking get it. I need to put some armor on. Yeah, that hurts a little bit. Alright. Where'd you go? Come on. I was not prepared for this. Oh, alright. Surtling cord. Yeah, these guys are surtlings. They gave me some good stuff. Wow, that was intense. I didn't even know that was a thing. Didn't know. News to me. I'm gonna go ahead and sleep before I have to deal with another one of those. Anyways, so I had just watched Let's Game It Out, and so I built all my shit right next to the thing, and I dug underneath it a little bit so I could have a little hidey hole. And before I even knew it, Chase was running around gathering these. Here, I'll show you actually. Before I go to bed. Just gathering these guys, ancient seeds. They spawn in these weird like little nests, and when they spawn, the nests spawn greylings, but they spawn like the bigger greylings, the brutes and the shamans. So of course he's already like almost maxed out, right? And he's all like, oh, I'll just go around and gather these for you, and then we'll just fight the boss. And he starts the boss fight before I'm even like completely ready, and I haven't even set my thing to record, and he's just like, oh, it'll be fine, we'll just fight him again. I got enough for 2 fights. And I was like, oh geez, alright, so we started over, we fought him again, the elder. And it wasn't really hard, I just stood up on the hill and sniped him over and over, and he was hitting him with his mace. Dang, 2 shots. That is amazing. Alright, I'm just not used to that. So we fought him twice, and immediately I was like, alright, cool, where's the swamp? I know the swamp is the next area, that's where you get iron. And iron in this game is actually really, it's like a huge level up from bronze. You get iron armor, what? Oh. I'll be right back. You get iron armor, you get iron tools. It's great, bronze is great and all. It's just not iron. It's just not. Iron got me through the next boss, and it would have gotten me through the boss after, but I needed silver to build the silver sword, so I figured I might as well build the, I really wanted a sword. I like swords. And I wanted to build the Jogger's Bane. The Bane of Jogger? What's it called? Jogger Fang. Anyways, I wanted to build that. Long story. Anyways. be wondering how I remember where everything is. And that's because I've had to go to these things so many freaking times to put shit away. And obviously stuff moves around as my bases change. And I no longer need to keep things, some things stored. Like all these chests are like brand new. I built all these to collect wood. And like they're not even all full anymore. I use so much. Oh yeah, I put that one ooze there. These are all empty. This used to be full of fine wood. This used to be full of, well, it still pretty much is full. In fact, I'm gonna go fill up one of my things. So once I found out about portals, now mind you, I was still playing on my old laptop, so nothing ran well. My frame rate was so low, it was ridiculous. And I didn't know that you could increase your comfort level. I didn't even know what that was. It just always told me I was at comfort level 4, and when you increase your comfort level, it increases your rested time. So right now my comfort level is 11 and my rested time is 18, which is actually low. I thought it was higher than that. Anyways, my comfort level used to be 4 and my rested time used to be 9 minutes. Which gave me 9 minutes of increased stamina. Not increased. Well, yeah, increased stamina and increased stamina replenishment rate. And among other things, I mean, you don't lose hunger as often and other stuff. You know what I didn't check was if anybody's actually watching. I never had the music on because I thought it would slow me down. Everything was just kind of a little harder. It was harder to use the bow, which is why I feel like I'm better at it now because of that. I'm just going to my channel on my phone. I'm live right now, yes, I know. Making sure I'm not missing any chats. I am on my channel now, so if you want to talk, go ahead. Anyways, so I don't have another screen. I'm planning on buying another monitor. Alright, so I beat the second boss and I was like immediately ready to go and fight another one. And so in here, right now, this portal goes to my main swamp boss base, right? But initially, I went here. I sailed literally right across the water here on my map. I'll show you. Yeah. All right. So it's literally just right across the bay right here. See that? So I, for some reason, had it still in my head that each boss was gonna be easy to find, and I'm just gonna, you know, go around and defeat them. Oh shit, you scared me. Yeah, you don't like the taste of your own medicine, huh? Anyways, so I came here, I built all of this. I actually initially had like an upstairs. I had stairs right here that walked, and it was like a whole upstairs thing. So I found a crypt literally right there, and I was like, oh, this is great. This is gonna make it super easy. I found a bunch of iron, and I was just like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm gonna do great here, right? Well, no. After, while getting up a little bit more courage to actually go and search this place, I found this over here. found this thing, and it had a Draugr spawner right here. And I looked at this, and it showed me bone mass, and I was like, oh, dope, I found it already. And my friends were all like, oh, you found it already? And I was like, yeah. And then I looked at the map and saw that it was all the way over there, and that I had to go even further away from my home. I was so mad. And sad. Honestly. And I knew right from the start that I was going to have to just start over and remove most of this base. And I haven't even gotten around to actually clearing it out. I was going to take the portal from here because I don't need it here. I have no reason to keep this area. Anyways, I hurried and built this perimeter, and I even built this because I knew I was going to be sailing here, and I did a bunch of stuff. This was after the fact, though. I built this after the fact so that I could get all my iron over to my other base. And with it, I was finally able to build a smithing table, and I will talk about that when I get back over there. So this portal was initially inside my house. I just switched the portal names. I literally just like changed their names. I just edited them. Do that. Change the same thing. Back to this. Anyway, so I don't know if you've noticed, but in here there's stone everywhere, right? It's stone right here. There's some right there. I built these two, but everything else was already here. My friend Chase, when we first got here, none of this was here. None of this was here, obviously. This was all hills, and Chase saw the Elder spawn location. He saw that, and he ran up the hill and saw that there was a tower over there. And he's like, oh, we can just build right into this tower. It'll give us some advantage, and it'll be great. And I'm getting ready to show you basically what it looked like. Alright, so... Whoa. Oh, it's saving. Basically, imagine this, right? This is literally all we had, but it was like bigger. It was a little bigger. These are... Anyway, so it was a little bigger, and it had an opening in the back, and we were just like, oh, awesome, this is great. We can build a little hut, and it had it upstairs, even. And so we built the upstairs, and you can kind of see it if I go to the back of my base, up the hill. You can kind of see where our actual first house is. You can see the stone peeking out through the top, and up even further, and like basically everything. Oh, that doesn't reach? Well, that's a problem. I kind of really want to fix that now. Okay, I have a little post-it note right here that I keep, oops, to write down things that I need to do. I actually just finished my first post-it note that I've used. Alright, that's not good. So, I don't know if you noticed the change in color. That means that area is decaying because it doesn't have a roof. Even though there's clearly a roof over it, it doesn't count. That's where my hearth is, and all the smoke from it. My hearth and that brazier. Alright, brazier? A brazier is a garment, isn't it? Anyways. Fix decaying portion of second boss space. I need to fix that. I need to figure out how to get up there. It's very tall. Honestly, it was honestly annoying to build. Anyways, so we built into the thing, and we fought the boss and beat it, and everything got a little harder, which was fine. God, that is just... And you may be thinking, oh, well, it's fixed now. No, it's not fixed. It's still gonna decay again. I'm just doing this in case I fucking troll or something walks by. I don't want it one hitting half my wall away. Anyways, so this is literally all I had, and this was all hills. And then I built the perimeter like walls, just the walls, and that was honestly that was when I learned about decay. I didn't know that that was a thing. And Chase came through and was like, "Hey, you know all your walls are decaying, right?" And I was like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "The reason they turn green and when you look at them, they have lower health like that." Why does these have lower health? What's going on back here? Anyways, he was like, "They're decaying because they don't have a roof over them." And I'm like, "That's a thing?" And he's like, "Yep." So put a roof over this, over everything. I roofed everything. I roof everything now. I still do. Because I don't want anything decaying. Because when you decay, it makes it easier for monsters to destroy it. And rebuilding stuff is not fun. So I built this perimeter, and then I was like, you know, trolls still come and fuck with me. And it's honestly the fucking worst. They just do not care. I mean, you saw that troll over there. He was just chilling. But they were super aggressive. And I have a troll cave back here somewhere up the hill. I don't remember. Or no, that's my other base. I had a troll cave right up the hill from my other base. Anyways, so I was like thinking about it, and I was like, trenches, man. If I just build a trench like I did with like Let's Game It Out did with the boss, they won't even be able to come near my base. So I dug a trench. I dug all the way around. And I've gone a little nuts with it lately. It didn't used to be this wide, but over here, as you can see, I just dug into one. Over here, the trolls would hit my house across the trench. If the troll had a log, if it was one of the ones with a log, it would swipe and take out this whole wall here. And just utterly defabricate my whole house, or this whole wall. And it would move around. It would take out a portion and then move on to the next part and keep going. And I'd come back to my base during the ground is shaking event, and it would just be gone. So I increased the distance for all of my trenches, and then I built, and then I dug out this entire area, and I started just going at it. And I found out that the lower limit is based off of how high the initial spawn is. So notice how it's kind of a gradual incline right there? That's not by design. That's because that is if I go over there and pull out my pickaxe, I can't dig any deeper. Right here. Look. I'm not going anywhere. It's not happening. I can just keep going at it. I'll get stoned, but I'm not gonna go any deeper. And that's this whole area. Now I gotta even it out again. But yeah, that's this whole area. I added all this grass back with the cultivator because I didn't like the dirt. It's a little. Now that I have the ability, the computer to handle all these leaves and stuff, I figured I'd put them in and increase my quality of life. Anyway, so yeah, I figured out that, and then I was like, oh well, I don't want to have to run out of stamina every time I come to my house and then sit here and wait at the bottom to jump up the wall. That's no fun. So instead, I built this. I built a little bridge, and I'm super proud of my bridge. Even if it doesn't quite line up with the rest of my house, it was a feat of engineering. It was tough, cause here, see, nope, not this one. It's all green now, but over here it's yellow, and getting the supports on the bottom to line up with the bridge itself was hard because if I build one, I started off with none, right? And I built out as far as I could, and then I tried to put a support on the bottom so that it would line up with the corner, and it didn't work. It immediately broke, and I couldn't build anything underneath it in time to support it. So I had to like start over here and build this one, and then I built this one, and it didn't obviously wouldn't affect the main structure. And then I built a couple more and a couple more, and I just kept extending out. But then my problem was it's it's not taking it anymore. It's this all this is just basically freestanding, and I also didn't want to deal with trolls smashing my shit. So I figured I better build stone stuff. So I finally built a stone cutter, and I brought it out here and I placed it, and I just went to work with trying to line up these guys and stack them so that I could put stairs. And these stairs don't like being on anything other than things that were made to support, like these foundation blocks and the little arch supports. They won't place on any of these guys. Not the stone pillar, not the stone walls, and none of the walls, and not even each other. You can't stack them. So of course it was very hard. It was very annoying, and it's taken a lot of time digging out all this. I dug this out just as a joke in case I ever wanted to summon him again and fight him. But I don't want to now that I've built this bridge. It's great though because the deer get stuck in there, which is funny. Oh, actually, I'll pick up. Yeah. Whatever. I'll go around. So, and then I found out that you can make honey, and I just kept adding everything. I built these to protect from the trolls as much as possible. I wasn't about to build a whole nother stone thing over here. And then I found out that the cultivator is what you use to make farms after I defeated the third boss, and I made a farm. I'm not gonna kick farm right now. And I made my way to the third boss area, and that's this way. I immediately slapped down a portal. That was the first thing before I even built a base. Well, I built a couple foundations. I brought with me on my boat all the iron I had left over after building my tools and such. Actually, I didn't even have enough iron to build everything. I literally only made an iron pickaxe, and I upgraded it to level 3. I wasted all the iron from that one crypt that I had to do that. And will I say that it was worth it? I don't know. It made it easier to get more iron later, but it was probably not the smartest decision because once I got into the once I got here, I was just getting my butt whooped up and down. Anyway, so free feathers. I got here and I landed on this rock, and I was like, I'm just gonna build an easy base. Hey, there's Odin. What's up, Odin? How you doing, man? He's right there. Oh. I hit him! What? I am so glad I'm streaming right now. I can't believe I just hit him. How is he not disappearing? Oh shit. I need some chains. Did he just die? Did I just one hit the wraith? Anyways, so there's Odin. He's cool. He shows up every once in a while. Anyways, there's a lot of slimes there. I missed. Oh, he's coming for me. Odin, you're being a real creep over there. I am doing terrible. Odin's freaking me out. Seriously? You can't get me, bro. I'm out of arrows. Ooh, he did get me. I have a crafting bench here. Yeah, I don't have any wood though. That's a problem. Out of arrows. I have this. I don't use it though. I feel like doing that. Anyway, so I built this, and I built my little moat. I built this wall, and initially I had these fences along here, and it only went out this far. And it was literally just to slow down everything that I could to stop them from coming up here. And then they would come up on the beach, and I'd bowl them down as they came out of the water. Is Odin still creeping over there? No, he disappeared. Okay. So I can't believe I shot Odin. That is hilarious. Anyways, I didn't think that was possible because normally he disappears when you look right at him. You're still coming? You still want some? Anyways, so built this, built my little defense system. I built all this, and it all looks great and all that, but I was just really not looking forward to fighting Bone Mask because like the week before I started playing Valheim, they upped the difficulty for Bone Mask to make him the hardest boss, basically, for your level. For the level that you're at when you get to it, he is the hardest boss to fight right now. And so, because of that, I was not looking forward to it. But I had it in my mind. I'm out of arrows. I need to remember that. Arrows. I need to write this down. Anyways, I had it in my mind that I was going to beat Bone Mask by myself. But at the same time, I wasn't looking forward to it because it was just going to be a hassle. Fighting him, even with all the preparation that I did to fight the hardest boss, I still didn't realize how hard it was going to be. And I was streaming, which on my old computer, on my laptop, which can barely handle this game. And I was trying to stream at the same time, and I wanted to use my bow, which was the wrong decision because I did like 1 damage to his like 20,000 health that he had. So I was like, alright, this isn't working. So I started to run away, and I had built my like forward base here. I'll show you. I had built a forward operating base right next to the boss arena. It's literally like a little stroll over to the boss spawner, right? I mean, you can see it. Odin, fuck off, dude. You are like literally creeping me out. This is not the environment for you to show up in. And I built like a bunch of defense. Like you can see the leftovers. These are it, some of them. There's some more over here. I brought my stone cutter over here. Oh, that's a big one. Ooh, that might not be fun to fight. Don't come over here. Man, I haven't explored any of this. Not right now. Anyways. So. Oh, jeez. Alright. Yep, that hurts a little bit. That hurts. Yep. Oh, man, that hurts. I don't have any food. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Whew. Alright. So, I summoned him, and he spawned over here. And immediately, as soon as he started to spawn, it was like glitch central. I had full iron gear, I was all geared up, and I had this guy. I didn't realize I would come in clutch at the end. I also had my mace, not my sword. My sword I didn't get until just recently. anyways, so I was all geared up, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna beat him. I built a bunch of defenses, and I made it so that he shouldn't. I thought he wouldn't be able to just, walk through them or do anything like that. So I put a bunch of defenses all around here, all around, and it was like this. It was just like little things that I could use to hide. And I was like, this is awesome. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna fight him, and I'm gonna win, and it's gonna be by myself. And that's when the mess hit the fan. Yeah, I'm out of arrows. Give me arrows. Just give me your guts anyways. Alright. So I spawned him in, and he immediately went to work destroying everything that I built. It was like all he had to do was walk through it. He didn't have to do anything. There was just no effort. And I mean, you can see it. It's all mostly destroyed. He was knocking down trees. He was getting everything out of his way to get his ass to me. And so I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm running away. I'm going back to my base. And he followed me. He followed me to my base. And so I was in here, and you can tell because it's kind of falling apart, but and there's pieces missing. All the pieces missing are because I was like, if he's gonna follow me, I could do AoE damage and do that. And I did. And I just kept slamming this thing down. I'd hit him like 3 or 4 times. I can't do it now because I hit a lot harder, but I hit him like 3 or 4 times, and then I just go around, and I tried to find the best spot to do it so that I didn't have to heal a bunch of stuff. And you notice that's gone, that's gone, that's gone. Some of my roof is missing. The fucking fireplace that I had here is gone. Some of that's missing. Yeah, so I just kept hitting him with my sledge, and it was working. But the problem was he was healing faster than I could hurt him for a while. And so I upped the amount of times I was hitting him. I didn't care about some of the stuff that I was healing. That's why some of these things disappeared. Because he still wouldn't attack me if I had a roof over my head and I was in these walls. So I figured if I let some of this disappear, it'll be fine. And I rebuilt some of it, actually. So I just kept hitting him inside here until he finally died. It took a long time. And I finally killed him. He died, and I got bone mass. So I went over there, and I took his power, which makes it so you don't take as much physical damage. It's honestly not as useful as they were making it out to be. As my friends were making it out to be. So I beat him and immediately went back to my other base. Put his head on the hook at the start of the spawn area. And yeah, I was super happy with myself. While also feeling like a little pain in my pride because I had to beat him in like one of the weakest ways possible, which is by literally just hiding in my little hidey hole and hitting him from the side with an AoE attack. That's not fair. Which, you're right, it's not fair, but it works. I can box on myself, I don't really care. By the way, those guys that are on fire, those are Sirlings. I didn't know that. And as you can see, I have a whole bunch of core, so that doesn't feel, honestly, I could have kept those, I could have kept all of my portals that I had, but at the time I needed them to further my progress and help me get to different places. I'm not building fire arrows. All I can do. Better than nothing. So yeah, I beat the boss, and that's basically where I'm at now. And my next step was to get a wolf fur cape. And by this time I had stopped streaming all of my plays. Like every time I play, I was streaming. And it made it super hard to play the game. In fact, I think I stopped before I even beat boss 2, because I I realized that it was affecting my gameplay, and I wasn't able to get as much done with the time that I had. So I stopped. I stopped doing that. And that's where I'm at now, pretty much. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the mountain base, which by the way, my mountain base isn't my first mountain base. I built another one. I've already dismantled it. Is the marker still there? Back here. Yeah, it was basically right up in here somewhere. Because it was closer. The mountain was closer. But there was no silver on this mountain. There was nothing. It literally just had wolves. Which is fine. I think I found like one silver. And then I gave up and I was like, it's not even worth it. So I left and I followed this trail because I saw it on the map that this was here. I followed this over here. I found this area and I built this house. Which, by the way, I've done a lot to it. So I built this new house and I've basically been doing nothing but building this new house and upgrading all my gear since then. I'm gearing up to go and fight Motor. But I don't want to fight Motor alone. So I'm hoping I can convince my friends to come and help me. Because they've been kind of burnt out on this game. Which sucks. Because I started playing it to play with them. But it's not a big deal. I'm having fun. I mean, look at all this. I built all of this. The only problem was I didn't have any iron here because I built this base. What the on rock and roll? No, I built this base out of this. This hole was here already. I just refurbished it. And so I'm a perfectionist. I gotta build this guy. So, yeah, I built into this hole, right? And I didn't realize it at the time, but I had made a new friend. Oh, that's not at all. And my new friend liked me so much that he wanted to come and say hi every time. There we go. Every time I showed my stinking face. Come on. Come on. Inch in there. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Come on. Alright now. I'm trying to be nice. Alright, whatever. Just fucking no. I want you to be flush. Is that flush? Alright. Now I gotta do this. Is it that one? This one? Anyways, so I made a new friend and I hadn't realized it. And he came by and all this, imagine that each one of these stones is a wood plank like this. And all these stone walls were wooden walls. And I had a buddy coming to say hi, knocking on my freaking walls every time I walked into my base. And mind you, I couldn't really fight him very well because he's way bigger than I am. He still hits me like I'm a POS. He freaking murks me every time. Anyway, so I made a new friend and I immediately realized that this was going to be a reoccurring problem. So I started making this wall, and this was just like at the swamp base. It was initially just to slow him down so that I could like gear up, take a frost potion, and come out here and fight him. I fought and killed him 4 times. 4 times. And every time I'd teleport away and be gone for more than a day, and I'd come back, he'd be waiting for me at the top of the hill that used to be over here. Actually, yeah, over there. There used to be like a mountain, another peak right here. I've since destroyed it in the hopes that if he ever dies, he won't be able to spawn again. So I immediately devised a plan. I figured I've got a hill over here I could dig into. Yeah. And there used to be like a little path right here that I dug up. Anyways. And this guy didn't like my plan. Because now, yeah, he's stuck. He's stuck down there. And there's nothing he can do. But basically what happened was, I figured if I built an area big enough for him and then ran into it, he would follow me into it, and he did. And then I could just use the hoe to add walls over here so that he can't get out. And it worked. It worked first try. It was so easy. And now he's just stuck and he can't get out. He can't destroy the walls because they're ground. That's one thing about the creatures in this game is they cannot destroy the ground, no matter what they do. I am the only creature in this game, and other players obviously. We are the only people who can destroy the ground. So, that being said, I did that, and now he's stuck, and I have a best friend that I can come over and say hi to whenever I want. And he just has to put up with it. And since then, I've done a lot. Alright, so I know you notice that I built this on my last stream. And I built this one as well. I added this little portion. And you can kind of see how I've been doing it. But I'll show you anyway. So, I have a wall now that goes all the way around. And I basically just brought my stone cutter around with me. And just kept adding like stones everywhere and leveling it out so that it would actually look okay. I'm planning on building another like observatory right here, but it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Anyway, so I built all this. It started with me just wanting to have like a cool entryway. This thing. I just wanted this to be cool. And then I was like, oh, well, what if I build more on top? And so I built more on top. Because it started with just a wall all the way up. And I was like, that's kind of lame. I have a path to walk through now, but that's not cool. So then I was like, oh, well, I could build like a lighthouse. I built a lighthouse. And then I was like, oh, well, now I can't walk around this without worrying about falling off. I had to jump over this fire just to walk across here. So I built these right here along the edge. And then I was like, oh, that looks actually really good. What if I continue it? And I just keep going. And I did. And I actually didn't even continue right there. I actually started over here because I wanted to make this into like an actual bridge. So I did. And you are gonna piss me off. Keep going. Glad I got those arrows now. See, I'm a much better archer now. Anyways. Anyway, so this picture does not encapsulate these horns. I think these horns are dope. I'm pantsless. Alright, so basically we're all caught up. This is the present. I've just gone around and oh yeah, I also explored a lot. I did a lot of ran around. I ran all the way around to the edge. The ruins that I found geared up. I got my cape. I didn't go geared up. I just built the cape and was like immediately wanderlusting around. More mountains. I found this mountain, which is far. I need a spot to put road. So I found one in this mountain, and now I'm gonna it's further away. One female guy. So I'm basically trying to see if there's land that I can't go behind. Mosquitoes and goblins are a bitch and a half. I died. Like right in here, I was and I was getting killed. And I had to run from here all the way back over there. I ran around, honestly. But I had to run all the way around. It was just awesome. I just skirted the edge of the. I went up into the mountain. I skirted the edge. Swamp, I can see through the swamp over the water right here. There's no land, there's nothing. I'm pretty sure there's just water. So, I'm without a doubt gonna have to sail. Probably gonna sail. Which, by the way, before I was able to bring myself, I told you the reason I wanted this to be so epic is I worked really hard to get an engine because I was over here. I was over here picking this stuff. So you can't even barely run up it. You have to keep it. But I wanted an engine. And I wanted an easy way to transport all the way to the phone was exhausting. I had so much fun. I slowed it back to my second base. I needed to get it up here so that I wouldn't have to take my silver scrap over to the other continent. It's a fun ride. It's fun. I took it fun. I dug out a path with a current so I can do it all at full speed. I thought you'd be able to hear me. I'm still not in the habit of watching that much. Make sure that you can actually hear me. I'm basically screaming now. I don't normally talk this loud. But I made this to bring a cart up here. First, one time go, so I wouldn't have to do this anymore. And it took me forever. 3 real life days of just, well, not days, but like over the course of 3 days, I spent probably like 20 hours, just not 20 hours, probably like 15 hours, just straight up mining this out. Anyways, and I mean, look at this. You can't even see the top. So yeah, look, I can just keep going. It's super tall. I used to have a crafting bench right there. Presents. And yeah, it just keeps going. And the path actually, I'm just gonna skip all this. The path actually goes all the way back to my second base. Did those just disappear right in front of me? What the hell? I didn't know. I thought it stayed forever. Fancy. Yeah. What? This is me too. Stuff. It's kind of hard for you to fly around here. Anyway, so yeah, I built this little hut too. This is a perfect example of basically what we did with the elder base. I just built this, and then it was actually a two wide. It was a double wide uh, tower. It was like two towers were right next to each other, and we built into it like this, and but imagine now it's double wide, and this doesn't just stop right here. It goes into another room, and that's where we had our beds. We had a little fireplace sitting on the edge in the windowsill, and we had the crafting bench at the bottom on the first floor, and it was just great. It was funny. He built it so fast. Does this work? Oh, it does work. This is like a halfway point to warm up. But yeah, this path goes all the way back. And I literally, before I even started making the path, I looked at my map and I zoomed in so that I could see both my bases, and I just went dot, 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 dot. And I basically drew a line with dots so that I could see them on my map, which you can. And earlier, I don't know if you saw it, I can port. It'd be faster if I, oh, wait, no, it'd be faster if I portaled over there. Actually, at this point, it might be faster just to walk. And do this. Alright, let's go. That way you can see the whole path. Which, if you've watched any of my YouTube videos, you've seen the whole path. This is kind of not level, but whatever. Even while making this path, I'm still figuring out how to frickin' use the hoe. I've kind of gotten it down now, but it's finicky. I saw those. I'm not getting them. Anyway, so hey, look, I cleared this out before I even started this path. I didn't even realize it, but I was gonna build a path. There's a little hut with a crafting bench, so I could repair. So while I was doing this, I took a cart full of. I took a cart with me to gather up the wood and the ore from the rocks that I was breaking and the trees I was cutting down, just so I could stay out longer. Oh yeah, another thing. Since I've beaten bone mass, skeletons just spawn now. They don't care. They just spawn wherever, and they fight. When they spawn, they fight the greylings and the halflings. The halflings, that's what they're called. The bigger brother of the greyling is the halfling. Anyways, so I built when I first built the new part of my base, I built these steps. I didn't know why. I just wanted to build something that looked nice. And it was decaying, and I didn't put a roof. This was even before. Yeah, I built these steps before I learned about the decay, and then I built a roof over it later. And it was super cool, and I was super proud of it. So I wanted to make a use for it. I wanted to have a reason why I built it. So I used it as my exit for the carts. Got a cart down here. If you want to see me do it, you'll have to watch my other YouTube video of me actually bringing the supplies. But basically, I take a cart, I walk up this dirt path, I have to sprint the whole time, but it looks like I'm walking. It looks like I'm running in place slowly up the hill. Anyway, so I bring it through here. I take it up these stairs. I built all of this just for this. And the gate, I had to open both of them to fit through. There you go. I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something. Alright, I'm running out of time. To make a long story short, I built this, took the cart over, and I made it back to my other base, and I started building all the stone stuff. And I used the iron to build everything that I needed to help me in the future. And now I only have like 1 or 2 iron left. And I'm probably gonna have to get more, which kind of sucks. But hey, that's the nature of the game. The nature of the beast. But it's been a long journey. But I think I've done pretty well for myself. Anyways, time to sleep. Get some rest. You can hear my best friend purring in the distance. And I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching. I have to go take care of my son now. See ya.